with yet another edition of The Interview. Hello, beautiful people on the cyberspace. How are you doing? We're back on the set of The Interview with our guests from last week. Like I promised you that we're going to have a continuation of another episode with our personality from last week, and he is the madamin Borgu, and his name is Ibrahim Musa, and I'm sure that you are waiting to hear all that he has to offer. So welcome to another episode of The Interview, and I still have Ibrahim Musa, the madamin Borgu, still on the set of The Interview, waiting to abreast you with all the information that you need to hear about the power sector and also about Nigerites and the way forward. So you're welcome again.
Thank you very
yes,
much.
So this is the second episode of The Interview.
Fine.
With Ibrahim Musa.
Yeah.
So, sir, last week you were able to let us in on where the Borgu Emirate is, how it emerged, and how very important it is in Nigeria. And of course, you also was able to tell us more about the power sector and what you have been able to do so far. And the administration is also still trying to do to stabilize power in Nigeria, as well as what we as consumer company to serve us better. I remember last week you mentioned that one of the reasons why we keep having collapse in the grid, the national grid, is because of some carelessness, usage of power, some terms where we are not supposed to, we are supposed to put off lights and we leave it on, and it is enough to generate like about 2 states and all that. This is an eye opener to me, and I'm sure it is to everyone who is watching. Now, as a way forward, in this episode we're going to be talking about way forward. What should we do? What is applicable? What is doable? And all of those. And I want to start with my state, because I am a proud Nigerite, and thank God I have the Prince of Borgu in the studio. Niger State is a civil service state. Thank God we have a governor who feels otherwise. He has said categorically that Niger State is also a farmer state, and that is why he has a new nomenclature, which is the farmer governor, Umaru Bago. Now, you have been in the civil service for so long, and so you have the experience. Please, let us talk about civil service and Niger State.
Thank you very much. And as I promised, my viewers will be very excited, because I'm going to share my experience in the civil service. You see, sometimes the government tries. The government, as I told you, governors will come, they go. Some will be very, very proactive, like the current one is doing really well, and I personally appreciate that. But there are a lot of challenges that have affected the civil service as a whole. In the first place, you see, we should always go out for the best. There are a lot of inconsistencies in the civil service. And sometimes you keep thinking the Nigerian naira falls, right? The dollar keeps rising. You see, when we think just money, when we are ostentatious, we think money, no service, definitely the naira will fall. We don't go for the best in the first place. Even in your place of work, when it comes to promotions, when it comes to picking people who will do the best, it doesn't work. We stem more on loyalty. That is how loyal this person is. Not capacity, nor his performance.
Yeah.
I can give examples with my own place of work. I am a general manager. I have somebody who became general manager before me. When I was a copper, I was doing my National Youth Service Corps. That person was in SS2.
Oh, wow.
I started work. This person will grow up, go into the university, graduate, come into civil service, and grow over me. There are a lot of instances like that. And then sometimes I also blame our workforce. And it's a plea. That is, I'm going to tell all civil servants, teachers, whoever, you need to give in your service. You pick on about 20 teachers, maybe you're supposed to spend 8 hours teaching, right? About 17 of them may not even go to work for 10, 15 days. But when it comes to salary, you are paid your full salary. There's this imbalance. This is why we have hunger. You find that yes, a lot of gaps. So we all need to live up to, that is our responsibilities. If we want this country to grow, if we really want this country to grow, pick people with capacity, plant people who can deliver, put people into places, and this country will grow. We in the whole world, I think we have the best resources. We have resources in this country that nobody should wake up and say he has no food to eat. And I've traveled all over. I was in South Africa. In South Africa, if you are a citizen, you marry, the government gives you a house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the government gives the couple a house, and they give you stipends too. In Uganda, that is the full security thing is such that when it's 1 o'clock, you must go and eat. Whether you have food or not, there are outlets where you have free food, kind of. So this
so people queue up to go and
have
eat.
food. It's compulsory.
Uganda.
So these are things we should, and you see, in life, modesty is key. And when you want to rate the standard of living of people, if you look at our per capita income, that is the whole world divided by the number of, it's average, but then it's in the hands of few. So this is why there's hunger in the land, and leaders too will have to be kind of moderate, liberal, allow some of these things to flow and reach our people. The country will be great. But as I told you, the present government, we are lucky. We have the president. We also have a very proactive,
responsive,
with the orientation they are bringing up. Some of these things will be injected, and I know this country will grow and be good.
Amen. Amen. This is really an insightful point you have raised, and I hope that the ears that need to hear are listening and they act on it. Now, sir, with all that you have reeled out, then I know that you have a lot to offer when it comes to, capacity. Now, you talked about resources. You also talked about the government picking on people who have capacity to deliver, so that the economy can be better for even the downtrodden. Now, that will take me to talking about the workforce now, or rather I would say that the challenges that abound in what do you have some way forward to some of these challenges you have pointed out? Do you have an idea that you can share with either the government or people, stakeholders, who will drive home some of these things and get it right?
All right. Now, let me come on the masses. I have told you that picking, that is putting square pegs into square holes.
Yeah.
Fine, I've talked about that. Let me pick an example. In most states, people, when you retire, when you become a senior citizen, a lot of people go through problems, challenges, like the pension stuff. Sometimes I will share what happens in my own parastatal, and that will ease the pains of most of the masses. It is possible to retire today and have your pension the following month.
How so?
It's very possible.
Very strange in Nigeria.
No, it's not.
Okay,
it's not.
how so?
Now let me pick let's say Agai. There's a local government, right?
Yeah.
Let's say let me pick that as a microcosm. Let's say there's a local government, there are 30 employees, and about 3 of them will be retiring in about 3 months. It depends on your planning, right? And you know what you earn as pension, it's never up to your salaries. So what we do in our parastatal is this. We know at the end of the month, the government either transfers money, I wouldn't know the system there. We have what we call the staff cost. That is what the salary is. Maybe salaries to all employees in Agai is about 300 million. So 300 million goes into Agai's account every month. So if you know 4 people are retiring, do an interim calculation on what they are expected to earn as pensions. No, the only time the headquarters here we know somebody is retiring is when you send that information. That is not stopping the state in transferring same amount you receive as salary funds. So you can as well start paying him. If he receives 20,000 monthly, his pension is about 12,000 now. You can start paying him the 12,000. By the time logistics are put in place and then it is concluded that his earning, his pension is going to be 19,000, you just draw a balance and make refunds to the state. Yeah, because his salary was 20, his pension is now 15. There's a surplus of 5,000 that goes. By the time it's settled, you make that refunds and he continues earning his pension. So if every state will emulate this, I don't think any senior citizen should go through any pains in
after retirement.
So a lot, and as I said, like me, I went through a lot. I gave you an example. Currently, I think I should be the only substantive general manager from Niger State in DC. I think, I'm not really sure, but I think. I think I'm the only one from Niger State, and I'm due for the position of executive director. If that is ceteris paribus, as economists, all things being equal. I know I have the qualifications, I have the experience and everything.
But sir, let me interject.
Yeah.
Let me interject, because this is a very sad one. It is really sad. The Niger State is a stake. I mean, 70% have the stake in power generation. And it is sad to hear now that at the managerial cadre that we do not have Nigerites who can occupy executive positions and all of those things. Is it that we don't have people who have the capacity to? I know that it is an engineering sector or something like that. Is it bent that it must be an engineer that must head the power sector or something?
No.
So can you let us in on that?
If you have a master's degree in business admin, like I have a master's, you can run any organization. And at the manager level, when you are an executive, what your best bet is pick on the best people and delegate. You do very well. In history, 2 accountants, there's Alhaji Shuaibu Megida, who was managing director when we were in PHC, and for 2-3 years he did very well. I think the recent one before the current MD, UG Mohammed from the Northeast, he was accountant and he did fairly well. His revenue drive was perfect. But along the line, I think something happened, and then there's no compulsion in maybe somebody being an engineer. No, somebody with experience can run the sector very well. Anyway, we are coming on board, and I'm sure with my experience, qualifications, and the geographical spread now, I think the government should consider some of us from Niger State.
Yes, I think it's very, at this juncture, I would want to also call on the attention of even the government of Niger State to use this information as a leeway to fronting some of these things at the national level, because I know that the governor, former Governor Mohammed Borgu, His Excellency, is very passionate about Niger State. He wants to see us grow. And this is another opportunity, Your Excellency, sir, to see what you can do to ensure that at least Nigerites are at the helm of affairs in the power sector. We have people who have the capacity. We have listened to the madamin. I'm not saying that it has to be him, but Nigerites needs truly to be represented and represented well, so that your new Niger mantra can be driven home via some of these sectors that we have. With this, I know time is no longer on our side. I can see my producer signaling that the time is almost, running out. Now, sir, on a general note, politics is for everyone, and I know that your emirate or the kingdom of Borgu has one way or the other have been active in the political scene. Now we have a president who wears the title of the Jagaban Borgu, and earlier you had explained to us how it came about. Now, what do you think? Are there any, or how do I put this better? Now, I want to say that is there any affiliation between the Borgu Emirate and the Jagaban? Because I feel that, well, as every Nigerian would always think that something should be given back to the Emirate. Or what do you think?
Yeah, like His Excellency, the President and the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, has become a father, kind of, because of that link. And I think 16 years back, he was very close to His Royal Highness, the Emir of Borgu, late Alhaji Haliru Dantoro. Dantoro saw that transformational powers in him. He's somebody who has this Midas touch. He has done this in a lot of places. So I think he prepared him. And the title Jagaban gave him a brand. It's global.
Yeah.
Every person knows. It is not a payback thing, but we are home we are sons of a Borgu kingdom. We are professionals. We are vast. We can perform anywhere, and I'm sure he will not forget Borgu. He definitely will not forget the Borgu kingdom.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, as a way of wrapping up, I always have a question that I ask my guests on the set. Life is transient, and we all know one day we all will not be here. Now, with all that you have achieved so far as a human being, to the glory of God, that you are where you are at the moment, what particularly would you want to be remembered for?
Yeah, I am somebody who is very, very sincere in life. I don't tell lies. I'm somebody who is very, very sincere, and if you have the opportunity to work with me for even a day, 2 days, 3 days, you will know me for that. So I want Nigerians to emulate that. That is, let's try and be modest so that we'll be remembered for that sincerity of a purpose. Let us not be nationalistic men that are still out of public so that our songs don't try on our lips.
Yeah. Yes. Finally, sorry dear. Finally.
Yeah.
While you were answering this question, something popped up in my head.
Okay.
As the madamin Borgu, I don't know where do you see the place of giving back to the society, mentorship? How well have you mentored? I know I'm putting you in the spot, but it is what is your take on mentorship, and how have you exemplified it?
If you go down home, maybe you asked questions. I am very close to my road. I empower the youth. I've been able to bring a lot of them up, not only in Borgu, Niger State, employment to power sector. I've given some scholarships. I've given some of them scholarships. I have a lot of good things, at least, so that tomorrow we're not here, we'll be remembered for that.
All right.
I do that.
All right. Thank you very much. This is where we'll have to draw the curtain. We want to thank you so much for honoring our invitation all the way from Abuja to come and be on the set of the interview. It is always a pleasure having you. I hope that when next we come calling, you will also answer us swiftly. Thank you so much, and we wish, on behalf of the management and staff of Lina TV, we wish you Allah's guidance, and may God take you to where He wants you to be. Amen. Inshallah. Thank you very much, viewers and our Cyber family. This is where we draw the curtain on our episode. This is the last episode. We had to do 2 episodes for the Madami Borgu because you can attest that he had a lot to offer to Nigerians and then the global community, as well as particularly his roots, Niger State. And I hope that at least one way or the other, this will not just be futile, it will also culminate into something that will help in the growth and development of Nigeria and Niger State and the world at large. I remain Selin Moses Alkali until I come your way next week with another interesting episode and personality that you would really want to hear from. Until that time, remain faithful, remain resolute. Niger State is our own. Nigeria is larger than we think, and your own contribution is needed to ensure that Nigeria is put on the world map. Thank you very much. I will see you again next week.